Most of the time, people discuss about the ways how to promote HSC culture. But today, I want to highlight the hurdles or the barriers to achieve safety goals. I'm your host, Javed, and you are watching Safety First. If you are new on this channel, kindly subscribe the channel. And if you find the video informative, like, share, and comment. Let us look what are the factors that can cause safety culture to decline. Lack of effective communication, perception of growing blame culture, lack of leadership and commitment, lack of monitoring, failure to implement remedial action, lack of consultation and employee involvement, poor working environment, external influences, health and safety seen as low priority, lack of supervision, and reorganization and uncertainty. These are the major factors that can cause a culture to decline. Now, let us jump on the main topic. Barriers are the obstacles to a positive safety culture. The obstacles to positive safety cultures are shortcuts, overconfidence, lack of cleanliness, negative mindset, ignorance of safety rules, group pressure, mental distractions, stress, fatigue, lack of work preparation, unscheduled work without adequate information, and inadequate risk assessment. The culture of positive safety is the result of the shared mentality, beliefs, skills, perceptions, and patterns of behavior in the organization that determines management's commitment to health and safety management. Barriers to a positive safety culture can be removed through motivation, training, education, and empowerment. The number one hurdle or the barrier is complexity. Solving specific health and safety issues can be complex in the workplace as it involves the coordination of many people who carry out several different activities at the same time and requires in-depth knowledge and experience of the possible risks and consequences. Number two, complacency. When something is new, our brain works hard at converting the task into a habit. Once it doesn't pay as close attention as longer. It becomes complacent. If the nature of the work your employees perform is routine or redundant, complacency is always lurking. Number three, conflict requests. Conflicts of interest between the objectives of the operation to obtain profits and at the same time guarantee the health and safety of people by respecting different types of standards and laws as well as the law of protection of the environment. The number four barrier or the hurdle is behavioral problems. Sometimes people don't behave ideally and to maintain the level of health and safety. The worker must perform his work ideally. Sometimes they deliberately do something wrong and therefore health and safety standards are affected by the behavior of workers. Workers often don't take their responsibilities seriously, so they take shortcuts that leads to accidents, injuries, or safety risks. Taking shortcuts when working near dangerous machinery or deadly chemicals is irresponsible and can quickly result in a safety hazard. Number five barrier or hurdle in the promotion or in the achievement of safety goals is ineffective safety communication and lack of knowledge. Organizations develop their HSE rules, regulations, procedures, and working practices as part of the company's safety management system. Most organizations don't implement their safety management system due to the lack of safety communication. Unless these safety systems don't communicate well with workers, work activities cannot be performed safely and have therefore resulted in injury. If workers don't know the safe work method, they cannot do the work safely. Dear friends and fellows, you are watching Safety First. Today's topic is the hurdles and the barriers to achieve a safety goal. Number six, substandard past experience. The experience can create a positive or negative state of mind. People compare things with their past experience and try to adopt the simplest way of doing their work. People's past experience affects their minds. If they have good experience and have done their assigned work safely, then in the new job, they adopt the same methods and do any job safely. But if they haven't worked safely in the past due to a lack of good safety culture in business, they also want to bring the same culture to this new business. Sometimes overconfidence may prohibit workers from taking additional safety precautions which may cause an accident. It is good to be confident, but when it comes to safety in the workplace, it is also good to be too cautious, prepared, and informed about safety in the workplace. Always consider what could happen. Negligence can lead to incorrect procedures, methods, or tools, and collectively it leads to an accident followed by death. Number seven, barrier or the hurdle is lack of leadership and commitments. Invisible leadership from management, not demonstrating management's commitment to health and safety, means that management is seriously discussing the issue of the safety in the conference room, but doesn't demonstrate the reality on the ground. This is the biggest obstacle to improving an organization's safety culture. Lower priority to health and safety than other business issues, frequent changes in organization, or poorly communicated changes make uncertainty. When a leader in the workplace sets the standard for maintaining a good clean, it sets the bar and sets a good example for everyone. Poor maintenance or lack of maintenance can lead to blocked emergency exits and corridors, which would be very problematic in an emergency, and this becomes one of the barriers to develop a positive safety culture in the workplace. Number eight, ineffective safety incident reporting system. All unwanted incidents must be reported to properly investigate in order to find out the root causes of the failure and decide the corrective actions. This is necessary to avoid reoccurrences. But if there is no robust system for reporting incidents, including near misses, workers don't report it, and hazards cannot be dealt with or can remain hidden, which can lead to a serious accident. Leaks that are not fixed properly and standing water that is not cleaned can cause slips and falls, which can not only cause serious injury but also lead to legal action for a business if the victim decides to continue, and this becomes one of the barriers to develop positive safety culture in the workplace. Before leaving the work area, ensure housekeeping. Good cleaning practice is to clean and check everything. Don't wait for a sanitation team or other colleague to clean it for you. This little practice or effort can prevent injuries and deaths in the workplace. Number nine, hurdle or the barrier is lack of participation and consultation of workers, lack of organization of training, awareness, and skills development modules in the organization cannot implement a positive safety culture. If people are not aware of safety procedures or work instructions, they can ignore safety procedures. And this is one of the most dangerous things that can lead to serious accidents. Instead of not understanding the procedures or having a safety risk due to an accident, total negligence is a definite danger to workers and their colleagues. Unplanned jobs, lack of communication, mental distractions, social influence, ignorance in risk assessment, and failure to prepare for projects and tasks can result in danger. Job safety analysis is an effective method for discovering the best way to work safely and efficiently. Sometimes, job safety analysis prepared by only supervisors with involving workers and even not communicating to involved people may cause serious incidents or accidents at the workplaces. Tenth cause or the hurdle or the barrier is workers with poor health and safety education. Risk assessment and the decision to control hazards are very important processes in any organization to do the job safely. But if the workers don't participate and are not even communicated, they may not know what safety measures they should take while carrying out the work. Some organizations don't consult their workers during the decision making process, which can lead to economic problems in the workplace. By having all the desired information before starting a task and asking questions that are not clear, the task is likely to be completed correctly the first time, which will decrease its chances of causing a major incident. Careless in starting a task in workplace without having adequate information about risk and controls may endanger to all workmen. Number 11 cause if the content of meetings, particularly safety meetings, is dominated by PowerPoint slides of paragraphs and numbers and discussions about why you did or didn't meet your numbers. It's a sign that metrics and numbers are the priority. Safety is about the well-being of employees. Structure meetings and presentations about people first. Don't send the message that you care more about the numbers than you do about your employees' safety and health. The best way to accomplish this is by incorporating safety storytelling into meetings and presentations. If there is not a human story behind the metrics, then something is awkward or fake. Number 12, double standard. You know, do as I say, not as I do. Managers and supervisors must unconditionally follow and adhere to all safety policies, rules, and programs. Nothing is more discouraging to employees and destructive to the integrity and credibility of the safety culture than leaders who don't fully follow, engage, and participate in the safety culture. Number 13, bullying. Managers, supervisors, and are a culture that uses and condones blame and shame as a way to motivate or coerce employees to conform to expectations, create fear, resentment, and disengagement. At best, it forces defiant, compliant behavior and doesn't create a positive safety culture. Cultures that exclusively employ extrinsic motivation tools, for example, paying for performance, also employ a subtle form of bullying. This makes the assumption that one can be bought. A culture that incorporates regular recognition and appreciation of employees is more respectful and valued by the employees. Number 14 point is tradition. Traditions have an important role, and this is a big hurdle behind the promotion of safety culture. We have always done it this way and we have never had an accident. Do you find yourself saying this? Traditions are powerful habits, and if you have ever tried to break a habit, you know how difficult it can be. A culture is a bundle of habits that have been sanctioned directly or indirectly. Some traditions are helpful and important, and some are dangerous. The critical element is to not create a culture in which challenging traditions is taboo. Cultures that encourage curiosity and are open to change have a higher chance of avoiding danger. Number 15, mental health. I have noticed that when a behavior such as carelessness or distraction is identified as a factor in an accident or near miss, the investigation seldom explores the reasons behind the carelessness or distraction. I suspect one reason for this is there is subtle pressure to find a cause and complete the investigation. This happens most often in cultures that place a higher value on answers rather than on questions. But curiosity and the desire to explore below the surface are essential in developing a positive safety culture. Number 16, alienation. Alienation is caused by dishonesty, a lack of concern, and trust breaking behaviors that emotionally and mentally isolate leaders from employees. It is not uncommon for some leaders to believe they are better than their employees and privileged because of their position. This belief, along with the lack of care, creates distance and alienation. Leaders who indulge in this thinking lose the most powerful asset they can possess, the capacity to lead through the power of their presence and authenticity. Positive safety culture is built upon a foundation of healthy, caring, respectful, and trusting relationships among all co workers. Number 17, safety doesn't start at the top. People emulate what they see. If you want your organization to have a successful safety program, the top leadership at your company are the ones that will have to be the ambassadors. Get your executive staff 100% on board, and the rest of the company will follow. However, one weak link and it will bring down your entire safety culture across the board. Make sure all your executives, as well as managers and supervisors, are supporting your safety plan. Number 18, outdated plans and procedures is one of the causes that is the hurdle or the barrier to promote safety culture. Ambiguity breeds a weakness in your safety plan. For success, make sure you have a clear plan in place with concrete responsibilities for each department and members of your team. Make sure you reiterate these plans constantly and ensure that each department is aware of every part of the plan. It is also wise to select a point person or designated communication officer that will be the liaison between different groups in your organization with the end goal of unifying all the plans together for the success of entire safety project. Number 19, poor communication between departments or branches. Dear friends and fellows, you are watching Safety First. Today's topic is barriers to achieve a safety culture or a safety goal. If you are feeling the video is informative, then subscribe the channel. When injuries occur, many times individuals are blamed, and it is believed that responsibility for accidents belongs to those directly involved. Safety should be everyone's job. Furthermore, according to the safety and health statistics, popular reasons for not reporting an injury are injury was small, accepting pain as part of the job, not wanting to be labeled as a complainer, believing home treatment would be sufficient, not being sure if the injury was work related, fearing the loss of future or current jobs, not being able to afford time off without pay to see a doctor, not wanting to lose out on the safety incentive for no lost work time. You should emphasize that safety is everyone's job, but also stress that no retaliation will happen for someone who reports an injury. Number 20, cost cutting and exclusive focus on profitability is one of the hurdles to achieve a positive safety culture. Sometimes there is a culture that profitability is the only concern in an organization. Safety and health are seen as an added cost. Symptoms of this include workers rushing and working too quickly, companies not wanting to purchase the correct personal protective equipment and other equipment, overworking employees, and focusing exclusively on the bottom line. The focus on safety will actually save companies money in the long run. It is always a good idea to invest in your safety plan, both financially and culturally. Point number 21, attitudes. The attitude of an organization from top to bottom reflects the success of the safety management system. It is important to acknowledge that employees will resist change unless that change is framed with a positive outcome for them as individuals. These are the specific attitudinal obstacles and misconceptions to address for both leaders and employees. Lack of trust, a climate of fear, the uncertainty of constant change, treating change like a program instead of a process, a history not conducive to employee involvement, leaders who not let go, employees who focus on their co-workers' imperfections and amount of time and effort involved. Point number 22, unclear rules and responsibilities. Rules must be established, communicated, and upheld to have a successful safety management system. It's important to involve individuals in the planning process as well as the execution to ensure buy-in and organization-wide approval. Resistance to your safety system can result from lack of demonstrated commitment from the top leadership, lack of responsibility from top management, not involving all the key stakeholders, not involving the unions or the regulatory bodies, resistance from any of the partners, supervisors, managers, support people, or labor force, failure to redefine the role of leadership. Number 23, training. Training is very, very important to avoid or to prevent accidents at a construction site when making changes to a system or rolling out a new system. You need ample time to train a core team of experts and then additional time for people to change old habits, ask questions, and make adjustments. The success of a safety management system can be challenged by inadequate training, team members being assigned or assuming too much responsibility, inadequate time for training to take root, leading to employee frustration and fear of getting it wrong. Point number 24, infrastructure. It is important to build the right environment for a safety management system. It's not something that can happen overnight and will not be adopted homogeneously across an organization. It takes time and constant communication. Systems that fail often encounter these problems. Systems and structures not designed to support teams. Too little or too much structure. Failure to communicate what's happening, not allowing enough time to change. No transition plan, and a lack of positive attention given to even the smallest improvements. These are the 24 points as per my viewpoint. These are the hurdles, are the barriers to achieve a positive safety culture. And if these points were not addressed in any of the organization, there are more chances of potential incidents, accidents, near misses, dangerous occurrences, or environmental damage. Dear friends and fellows, let us discuss the techniques to change employees' safety behavior. The behavior of each worker is of crucial importance for the management of health and safety of any organization. If a worker behaves in an ideal and safe way, but not in another, and this dangerous behavior can endanger himself and others. It is a fact that most accidents at work are caused by dangerous acts. That is the dangerous behavior of a worker. We cannot blame the worker and conclude as negligence, but we must identify the underlying causes, take corrective action, and try to understand how human factors influence work practices. There are three main important factors that influence the safety behavior of a worker. Let us discuss one by one. The first key factor is individual factor. Individual factor linked to personal characteristics, attitude, competence, motivation, and perception, etc. Attitude, that is the point of view or the way of seeing the person, how they think and feel about it. A good attitude should be encouraged, and a bad attitude should be changed. It seems very difficult to change individual attitudes, but this can be done by using different methods such as training and education, high impact intervention, application, participation, and consultation, etc. Number two factor is job factor. It is linked to the task they perform. Ergonomic design can affect workers comfortably to complete the task. Workload, that is the amount of work, the pace of work, deadlines, and the variety of work. Work environment, that is working conditions such as space, lighting, noise, temperature, humidity, etc. Screens and controls, that is design screens, markings, codings, capacity, etc., and visual management. Procedures, that is the quality of the procedures, revise or obsolete, recoverability, complexity, etc. The procedures must be precise, concise, and in the easiest understandable language. Number third factor is organizational factor. It is linked to the characteristics of the organization for which they work. It includes organizational safety culture, safety policies and procedures, safety commitment and management leadership, supervision levels, and peer group pressure. Consultation and involvement of workers in the management of health and safety issues. Communication to transmit messages and information about health and safety to staff and validate the understanding of these messages. Resources, that is availability of safety equipment, personal protective equipment, safety training based on gap analysis, etc. Work models, that is time shift model, etc. Dear friends and fellows, now let us discuss the benefits of a best-in-class safety culture. Strong safety performance is a cornerstone for any business. When all of these characteristics comes together to create a best-in-class safety culture, everyone wins: fewer accidents, losses, and disruptions, improved employee morale, increased productivity, low workers' compensation and insurance claims, improved compliance with the local and international HSE regulations, improved reputation to attract new customers and employees and retain existing ones. And the last one is better branding and shareholder value. And that's it. Training session is over now. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like and share the video. Hope to see you soon with a new HSC topic or tutorial. Till then, take care, good luck, and Allah Hafiz.